Everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another process video for Build a Page 2024 May edition. Today I am going to be scrapbooking a couple pictures of us stopping at an ice cream shop when we were souvenir shopping. I have in here a bunch of embellishments that are kind of ice cream-esque and palm trees. I also have this little die cut of the town because we were down on like the main street doing the shopping, so I thought that kind of represented it. I have some 6x8 papers. I have the orange floral and this green polka dot, white cardstock with coconut swirl. I also have the scraps that were left over from the layout we did yesterday, just pulling them forward in case we want to use those instead of cutting a full sheet. So, looking at this, I'm thinking I want to go ahead and use this orange sheet of paper as my background. It's a little bit calmer. And then I'm thinking I'm just going to do one of my normal layouts, which should be more of like a banner or an L shape with a larger mat behind. So let me first of all get my trimmer. And we are also, like we did yesterday, I'm going to go ahead and frame my paper using the coconut swirl because we are going to be trying to use our cardstock that came in the kit. It's not that I need to use it up, and I'm not trying to like waste it and like throw a whole piece under there, but I do want to be able to use it for matting. So let me just see here. Wasn't quite lining up here. Oh, there we go. All right. Let's go ahead and gut this. Again, I'm a firm believer in gutting. I don't need to waste and have it, although I have tons and tons and tons of paper. I just can't justify putting a whole piece of paper underneath unless the paper I'm putting above is very thin and needs a little bit of a boost in weight. But for these papers, they're a good weight. They don't need any additional, boosting up of the stiffness of them. So for me, I'll just always go ahead and gut whenever I'm going to frame. And I've shown this multiple times on my channel, but if you want me to show it again, I'm more than happy to. I'm just basically making a 1-inch frame to go around the back. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab the orange paper. Just move that scrap to the back. And for this, because I don't have a direction on this one, now I can go and take a 1/2 inch off of each side, giving me a 1/4 inch. I don't have to take a 1/4 inch off of all four. I can just take a 1/2 inch off of two sides, and that will do the same thing because I don't have to worry about an image being centered on my paper like I did with the one yesterday. So now that we have that gutted, I'm just going to go ahead and put this to the side for a moment while we go ahead and mat the paper to the frame. And again, I like to run my adhesive on the edge of the background piece of paper and then add it to the frame. That way I know that I'm getting it on the inside. Other people will go and use like tear apart tape and only like tack an edge and then pull the tearaway tape off once they have it all lined up. I do this all the time, and I'm not like real worried if it's a little bit off. It's not going to stress me out. So let's go ahead and make sure I'm checking to make sure I have about a 1/4 inch on the bottom, side and side. And as long as that's the case, then the top part will also be. So we're going to move this to the bottom for a minute. I'm thinking I want to use this one as my band and then this one as my square. So let's go ahead and cut this one, and I'm going to make it, I'm going to go ahead and make it a 9 by 9 maybe, because this will be 8 going across. Let's go 10 by 10. I can always trim it down. I can't add to it. And have that. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut a band of this. So let's get our branding strip off first of all. And again, I'm going to go with bigger versus smaller. So we're going to go ahead and do a 4-inch band. And usually for these, I like to make them like start with like an 11-inch. That way it comes in from the and stays on the inside of the frame. So we're just going to take an inch off and see how this beginning looks. So now when I put this on here, I do want this floral to show. And so if I was to put the polka dot on top, it covers up almost all the floral. So that kind of leads me to decide that I want to have the polka dot underneath and the floral as a layer above. Okay, so we're going right here. We have this. Now the next thing I'm looking at is I still kind of want a shelf for my pictures. So my pictures are going to be on here like this, but they're just kind of hanging here. So for me, I want a thinner border to go across here and make my L. And then I get all my layers of picture or colors. Now for this, I do want to look at my scraps. So the two options I have the back side of the green is this weekly expense report. I could do the black back side of this floral, which is another kind of busier pattern with the little green flowers. Or we brought in the scrap from yesterday and I could just do a strip of the pink. And I think I'm going to do that because then I'm pulling in this kind of purpley pink color from the sign and the pink from the wall. And now with this, it will allow me to pull in multiple colors when I go to do the decorations, and it all makes sense. So let's cut, we're going to start with a 1.5 inch. Again, I can always cut it down if I feel it's too wide. And I just need a little bit to just give it that little shelf to sit on. And then for the length, I'm going to go ahead and cut it at 11 inches. So I'm just taking a 1-inch little piece off, and that will create my shelf. And there we go. Now for the matting, I think we're just going to go ahead and put it on the white, and that way it brings in a little bit more of the white into the layout. So let's go ahead and mat that. And this is just one of my go-to designs that, you know, it's like one of those things that you don't have to think about a whole lot. It allows you to be able to show a lot of different patterns. And even though it's the same design that you'll see throughout my albums, the pages change, the papers change, the embellishments change. So it doesn't always look like you don't realize that I'm repeating a design. Maybe a scrapbooker would, but somebody who's just the average person looking at my album, they're not going to look at the design elements and go, "Ooh, look at." Now, one of the things that I can do to change this up a little is I could fishtail this. And so I think we'll do that just to give it a little bit of a difference. so it's not as boxy. So when I fishtail, I just see where the center point is on my paper, and I do a little slit going up, and then I go from each corner to the point of the slit I made. And that gets me a nice fishtail. You could also use a square punch if you want. Some people fold it in half and then make an angled cut. I just kind of find this works for me. I just kind of eyeball it so I go the same depth in, and then from corner to corner. I don't know if you can hear the train whistle on the film, but right now there is a steam locomotive that is coming through the area, and I don't think it's stopping in my town, but it's driving through, and they've been talking about it on Facebook, and I can hear the whistles blowing as it's going through town right now, which is kind of cool. I don't know if you guys heard that. Tried to stop talking for a second so you could hear it. That was it again. Anyway, kind of cool. Let's see, where else can we go with this? I don't think we're going to use the star paper, so I'm going to set that aside. I don't think we're going to use, well, you know what? I'm going to leave those little bits because I could always make a tag, but I'm probably not going to. And let's just kind of take all the little scraps and move them. All right. And we'll move these. And these scraps, like I think I said it yesterday, I usually hang on to most of it until my collection is pretty much to where I no longer want to keep it as a collection, at which point then I will tear it apart and, you know, go through and get rid of anything that's too small. I'm going to go ahead and start gluing things down. I am one of those that I can't stand when it's shifting. And this adhesive, I use the ATG from, what's the name of the company? It's a generic ATG. Anyways, if you don't push it like really hard down, you can usually kind of be able to peel it up if necessary. And let's see. And I'm following the pattern for lining it up to keep it straight. So I know we kind of want the picture centered. I'm going to go ahead and add adhesive towards the center. And again, I'm placing it down, but I'm not like being heavy-handed with pushing it down. That way if I need to adjust it or whatever, I can. Now, do I want to go with the darker colors? Oh, I kind of like that instead. Instead of the matte print, I think I'm going to go with the darker Sunburst. It just gives me then 2 shades of pink versus 1. And I'm just going to slide this under and again kind of line it up so it goes across. Now the other thing I have in here is this ledger, and I'm thinking I'm going to cut the top of the ledger off and use that as a little bit of a place where I can build a title and do some journaling. And I could even cut another piece towards the bottom if I want to go to that point. So I'm just going to cut along this top line. Using that as my guide. I don't have to break the trimmer out. And I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to make this a little banner coming up over the top. Now I do have, like I said, the little cityscape. So I got to see where I want that. Thinking I want it there, so I could go with a little bit more of this grid and bring it down underneath. And I think I'd want it underneath. I'd still line it up with here, but I think I want it underneath this band, the pink band. So if I put it like right here, again, it gives me a little place to build upon. So let's go ahead and add a little adhesive to this. I'm not going to add adhesive yet to the little town. Actually, I think I might, because this bottom here of the sign is not very attractive, and I can cover that up pretty good, and then it's not covering up the ice cream cone. So I'm going to go ahead and run one bead of adhesive across this. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not covering up. And then I can do more of a diagonal because I have this going here. Oops, come on. And then I can do something up here. So I think we're done with the paper elements for now. I can always grab them if I need them. So let's do a little decorating. And I kind of like that. Out here making memories. And then we can maybe, and then we have this where we can have our title around town. Maybe build up our ice cream cone and our gelato up here. And then again, we have more florals, maybe two. And then to bring this little town over, I can go with sweet treats or, again, keeping it more to this side. And then we have this little banner that says sweet. Kind of like that. Now I do have these palm fronds. These were actually from the die cut pack. And that will bring in more of that same look that we had from yesterday's layout. And what you'll see is that die cut, that green, now it's on top of the busy paper, but because it's more of a solid, it breaks up all this from all the pattern. And then let's see here. We have another ice cream cone that we could add in. And I don't think I'm going to use the tourist die cut. I don't think I need, do I want one more flower maybe? Down there. And this one I pulled out, Time for a Snack. I think I'm not going to use that from the papery. And let's see, we want one more of the palms. All right, I'm kind of liking how it is, and I don't think I need these florals. So let's go ahead and glue everything down, and I think we're going to call this one done like this. So let's go ahead. Usually what I do is I try and pull from the bottom and re-tuck everything back in, depending on how it is. Like these, I have a few of them that are they're layering, and if it was like on top of everything, I'd go from the top down. But because I have some things tucking in under other things, like the paper and stuff, that's why I'm kind of going from the bottom up. And this one isn't under anything. Go ahead and put this right here. And then we're going to put that flower in. And tuck that. And now we'll go ahead and get the gelato in. We know we want that to be under the A. And I put it down far enough that you can read gelato through the A. And now we'll go ahead and put the ice cream cone there. Now we'll go ahead and layer up that floral. And then the last thing we're going to do is run this banner of the sweet down the edge of the picture. There. Now let's go ahead and get these pieces. You know, we can put this across the bottom. I'm going to kind of put the postcard on an angle. Like that. Go ahead and add the palm frond underneath. And actually, I can cover up some of this postcard because I have this area here to do journaling. So if I cover up a little bit of this, it won't matter. I still want everyone to know it's a postcard, so I'm kind of leaving the little place where the stamp is. I want that to be kind of open. And this right here. And then the last thing we're going to do is add this floral here. I think we'll go underneath the postage stamp like that. Now it's kind of got that layered look. And then the last thing we need to do is trim this off. Now we could also go ahead and add some puffies. I don't think we really need any more words because we have a lot of words in here. So I don't think I need any word pieces. I do have this little tag that says souvenirs, and we were out souvenir shopping. So I'm just going to put that souvenirs up here, around town and souvenirs. Kind of gives an idea of what we were doing that day. Okay, sorry, my alarm went off. Again, I'm doing this on lunch. I think the last thing we're going to do is sprinkle some of these dots from, we could even put an arrow maybe. Let's see if we have an arrow that will point the right way from like Sweet Treats. No, I don't like that. And let's just do the dots. So I'm just going to add 3 of them around here. Just random spots. And then I'm adding a little adhesive because these don't always want to stick. So I give them a little bit of help. The other thing I'm doing is trying to pick colors that are opposite of what the papers are. So like I'm putting this blue on the green and the yellow on the green. I don't want to put green on green. And then we'll put 3 down here. All right, add 1 more. All right, we're going to call this one done. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and if you are enjoying this, please give me a like and a thumbs up. If you're new here, welcome and thank you for being here. If you're old here, always appreciate all of my scrappy peeps who have followed along and supported me. And make sure you get in your room and play with your stash. Again, making kits is a great way of getting them together so that when you don't have a lot of time, like right now I'm on my lunch hour, I can put together a quick layout in between, versus when I have a full day, I can go ahead and make kits and then spread it out through the week. Anyways, thank you so much for stopping by, and I will be back again on my channel real soon with another process video. And make sure you check out everyone else who's playing along with the Build-A-Page this month. Oh, and How to Kill a Kit with Style, because this is my How to Kill a Kit for this quarter. Thanks so much. Have a great day. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.